Joining us now is Noel MacNeal. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Donna. Thank you so much for having me today. Hello, everybody.
So, before we begin, a little birdie told me that today, when we're recording this, happens to be your birthday. Happy birthday.
It is. Thank you so much.
I love that you're spending a little time with us on such a special day for you. How are you
Hey,
celebrating? Yeah, how are you celebrating your day
by
today?
not doing any housework, no responsibility whatsoever, I got treated to donuts and bacon breakfast for my wife. My son's going to make a cake from scratch. So I am off duty today and more
I
than happy to
love that.
come and hang out with you.
So you, through your talent, have brought so much joy to families, right? It you must have such a great time with your own family. Is that kind of how that expresses for you? Like it's not only what you do for a living, but you're also able to, like you said, your son's making a cake from scratch. How fun is that?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where he's always like been part of my birthday ever since he was little. He's 20 years old now, but he's going to use the bowl that my grandmother used in making birthday cakes for me when I grew up. So there is that sort of tradition, and I taught him how to make her cake, and now he's going to make it for me, which is wonderful. And it's been great because the shows I've worked on have been for families, so I've been able to use what I've learned from those shows for my family.
Now, what about puppetry? You started early on as a puppeteer, an actor, a director, a singer, a writer, an author. Um, you launched your career in the early 80s, right? You're a puppet wrangler for Sesame Street. And, we love Snuffleupagus. We love all of these different characters that you've had time to bring to life. What is it about your journey that makes it joyful for you, Noel? You personally being able to be part of that?
For me, puppetry is, I feel like, the most genuine and probably last genuine uh, magic in the world. It's something AI can never and will never, ever replace. Because when you see a puppet on stage, like Audrey 2 in Little Shop of Horrors, where I'm the swing puppeteer and the swing voice, or on Sesame Street, you see Big Bird, or for the show I worked on, Bear in the Big Blue House, who actually got to go into the outside world and visit kids in their homes for breakfast with Bear. Um, he's right there in front of you. My best memories of doing Bear was going to children's hospitals and being able to like go into a kid's room and for their parents, this wasn't a doctor coming in, it wasn't a nurse coming in for a test, it was their friend from TV visiting their child who's not a patient, it's their child again. And so that was before I became a dad, but now I realize how truly genuine it is. So yeah, I'm very proud of like what I do and the fact that it's still like a lasting memory for so many people.
Oh, it is indeed. And I was just reading through all of your uh, things that you've worked on, whether it's The Puzzle Place or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 or Magellan and Eureeka's Castle or, like you said, Bear. It's so wonderful to have you here at Gullah Gullah Island. I mean, the list goes on, right? So it's so significant. I want to know if you have like a keepsake room where you have some of these little special friends around you, like little mementos. Do you have that? Do you have like a really colorful room that has some of the pieces that you've worked
It's
on
like
over the years?
it's pretty much around it's around like the apartment. Like for instance, there was on Bear in the Big Blue House in the bookcase there was this bust of Bear, and on the very first day I went over to it and on the bottom of it I wrote "Property of Noel MacNeal" and put it back. And then at the end of 4 seasons, on the last day when they called wrap of the series, I went over to the bookcase, put the bust under my arm, and walked off the set. So it's there.
Well, you did your memoir called Hey, This Was Really Fun, correct? Tell us about that process.
Yes.
What are some of the stories that we could look forward to in reading in that?
It's the kind of thing I've always had in mind of doing. And then this thing happened called the pandemic, and lockdown suddenly became a part of my life and so many others. So suddenly you have the time to kind of sit at home and just like write down all these stories first thing in the morning and like cobble them together into this like chain called your life. And yeah, I've had so many stories about my career, the people I've worked with, uh, family experiences. My mom being like my first biggest supporter in me being a puppeteer because she was a private secretary at the time. And she said, "Sweetheart, I've been typing the same letter for almost 30 years. Don't get a job, get a career." And
Wow.
that's what I did. And she got to visit sets. She got to be part of the first Sesame movie, Follow That Bird, because she's an extra in the background along with me and many other people. And now, like, I get to share it with my wife, Susan Elia MacNeal, author of the Maggie Hope Mysteries, and my son, Matt, who is a very accomplished puppeteer in his own right. In fact, he's going back to Miami this December to be a puppeteer for the musical I wrote, the holiday musical called Mouse King, the untold story of the Nutcracker, which is the story of the Nutcracker, but from the mice point of view. And it's at the Mandelstam Theater in South Miami.
Oh, no, I want tickets to that. I want to come see that. That sounds wonderful. I'm a big, I celebrate, as you could probably tell, I have a very youthful soul about me, right? And it was a joy to get a chance to meet you, but I would love to celebrate all the things that you have going. But that's adorable. When I first brought my son Matthew to see the Nutcracker, you know, we're watching like the first few minutes of it, and Matthew looks at me and he goes, "Mommy, are they going to talk?" Like, I didn't tell him ahead of time, right? So in what you're doing with your version that you're celebrating from the mouse's perspective, is it just music, or is there going to also be some voice to that?
Oh no, it's a full family musical. It's a wonderful hour, so you just come in for like an hour, and there's a whole story, and there's music, there's lyrics. The music was by Jim Camacho, and he and I did the lyrics. I wrote the book for it, and it's a whole story, but it's from the mice point of view. And you come to find out that the Nutcracker is not the hero we all think he is. That's all wooden toy propaganda after all these years. So this is the true story, and I'm proud to say it's going into its like 12th year. So it's become like a South Miami tradition, according to the local newspapers.
Well, I love Miami. It's such a beautiful, sunshiny place to be. But congratulations on all your success, and really a heartfelt hug to you, Noel, from like my heart to your heart. Thank you so much for bringing so many good things to life. Like your creativity, it goes on and on. It's endless, it's timeless. It's award-winning, of course. But Noel, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, truly, thank you.
No, thank you, Donna. And by the way, you are smelling really good today.
Oh, you just made me cry. Thank you. I'm a kid. Love you. Thanks, Noel. Thanks. Bye. Bye, guys. Wow, that was cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Surprise.
That was a tear of joy. Thank you so much. You're so pleasant and so lovely. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.